To find the product of two different numbers, the ancient Egyptians used a form of multiplication by using doubling. To show how the ancient Egyptians used the doubling method, we are going to use the example 25 multiplied by 32. The first thing that you have to do is write your problem out horizontally. The first number we will consider our first column, and the second number we will consider our second column. Underneath the first column, you always write the number 1, regardless of the number that is at the top of the column. After writing the number 1, you always double the number 1, and you always get the number 2. And then you double the number 2, which is 4, and then you double 4, which is 8, and you double 8, which is 16. You must stop doubling when you know that the next number would exceed the value at the top of your column. And in this case, the number at the top of our column is 25, so we may not exceed the number 25. At the top of our second column, we have the number 32. Whatever number you have at the top of your second column, you must rewrite that number and start doubling that number. Because we only doubled 5 numbers in our first column, you may only double 5 numbers in the second column. So first, we are going to rewrite 32. We double 32, and that is 64. We double 64, and that is 128. 128 doubled is 256. And 256 doubled is 512. The next step is we must go back to our first column and locate the numbers that would have a sum of the number at the top of our column. So we have to locate numbers with the sum of 25. Sometimes you may have more than 2 numbers in that column that will add up to the number at the top of your column. The numbers that add up to 25 are the numbers 16, 8, and 1. After you have located the numbers that total the number at the top of your column, you must look directly to the right of the numbers that you circled. It is those numbers, when added, that will give you the answer of your problem. Adding 32, 256, 512 will give us our answer. And the sum of these three values is 800. So 25 multiplied by 32 is equal to 800. Let's try another example. In this example, we are going to multiply 15 times 62. As always, start by writing the number 1 in the first column and start doubling the number 1. But remember, we are not allowed to exceed the number 15. So 1, 2, 4, and 8 are the only numbers that we may write underneath the number 15. If we were to double 8, that would exceed 15. In the second column, we rewrite the number 62. 62 doubled is 124, 124 doubled is 248, and 248 doubled is 496. Next, we go back to the first column and figure out what combination of numbers will add up to the number 15. In this case, all 4 numbers add up to the number 15. Therefore, we must add up all of the numbers directly to the right of all 4 of those numbers. So we're going to add up these numbers together, and in the first column, we have a total of 20. In the next column, we have a total of 23. And in the last column, we have a total of 9. So the product of 15 and 62 is 930. And that is how you multiply numbers using the ancient Egyptian method of doubling.